Welcome to Natural Health Tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you a list of food that you should avoid during pregnancy. The goal of every pregnant woman is to have a healthy baby. So to enjoy the journey, here are some food you should avoid. Number one on my list is smoked seafood. I'm going to list this food, okay? Then we're going to talk about them later on. So the number two on my list is poultry and stuffing. Okay, it includes ground poultry. So poultry and stuffing. If you love your stuffing, you need to stay away from it a little bit while you're pregnant. Number three on the list is meat. Okay, especially red meat, beef, veal, lamb, pork, including ground meat. Okay, so we're talking about poultry and stuffing now. We've talked about meat. Number four on the list is meat spread. Okay, this is something like most people take. They heat it because they feel it's safe, it's quick. You have to avoid it while pregnant for your own health and the health of your baby. So meat spread. Okay, number five, ice cream. I know sometimes you want to indulge yourself in delicious ice cream, but you should avoid it while pregnant. I'm going to explain all this to you later on. Another thing you should avoid is egg nut. Okay, avoid egg nut. Number seven, I hope you are listening. This is very important for your own health. You should avoid fish. Okay, you should try and avoid fish. Another you should avoid is pasteurized egg products. Don't be afraid that I'm saying you shouldn't eat egg. Well, I'm going to explain a bit about each one of them to you later on. Okay, so egg, unpasteurized egg products. Another thing you should try to avoid, okay, not 100% avoid, okay, to be careful. What I'm going to list, my first number 9 that you should be careful with is in hot dogs, luncheon, or cold meat, all the processed meat. Okay, I'll say be careful with processed meat. So from number 1 to 9, you can eat them, but you have to be careful with them. So before I go to the real list, let me explain this to you. This number 1 to 9 are food you should be careful of when eating them. Okay, number 9, processed meat like hot dogs, luncheon, cold cuts, dry sausage, and other deli meat. Why you should be careful with this is because they may contain listeria. Okay, listeria is deadly, it's very deadly, it's dangerous when pregnant. Okay, so what you should do with this list of food to prevent listeria is that even if it's labeled, when you go to the store and on the food they put pre-cooked, that you understand it's pre-cooked. Okay, but before you eat them, you should reheat them to steaming hot or 165 degrees Fahrenheit before eating them. Okay, to prevent listeria infection. So for eggs, you have to be careful because they may be undercooked and they may contain salmonella. Another dangerous. Okay, they may contain salmonella, so you want to be careful with food number 1 to 9. Okay, so egg product can contain salmonella. Okay, so what you want to do to prevent salmonella is to make sure you cook eggs until yolks are firm. Make sure your eggs are well cooked. don't eat undercooked egg to prevent salmonella. Okay, so other thing you have to keep in mind is that when you are eating eggnog, okay, it may contain uncooked egg that may contain salmonella that I just talked about. So what you want to do with your eggnog, right, is that make sure your eggnog is well prepared. Okay, it's very, very important. Make sure it's egg fortified and it's cooked to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. For fish, fish may contain parasites that's deadly to you and your baby. So make sure you cook your fish very well before you heat. Cook to 145 degrees Fahrenheit before you heat your fish. Okay? So number 1 to 9 on our list are foods that you have to be careful with. These lists are not avoid because you still need all this when you're pregnant. But 1 to 9, you have to be careful with them. Make sure they are well cooked, okay, before you eat them to prevent Listeria or Salmonella infection. For ice cream, homemade ice cream, keep in mind, may contain uncooked egg, which contains Salmonella. Okay, so make sure your ice cream is well prepared, okay, clean before you take it, if you have to indulge in ice cream once in a while. For meat, beef, lamb and all this, they can be undercooked and they may contain E. coli. Okay, meat, danger of eating meat when you're pregnant is that it may contain E. coli. So to prevent E. coli, you have to cook your beef very well. Cook it very well. If it's beef, you have to cook it to 145 degrees Fahrenheit before you heat. If it's pork, if it's ground meat, make sure it's 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and if it's pork, make sure it's 160 degrees Fahrenheit before you heat it. Okay, so these are safety procedures that you want to keep in mind before you start eating any of this meat. Okay, ground meat, ground beef, and all the rest. Be careful of meat spread. Okay, they may be unpasteurized and they may contain Listeria. Okay, so canned version of any meat, they are better, they are safer. So if you want to eat meat spread, you can take the canned version, which is considered a bit safe. The same applies to if you want to eat poultry or stuffing, right, or ground poultry, they may contain salmonella or other bacteria because they may be undercooked. So make sure it's cooked very well before you heat. Last on my list is smoked seafood. Okay, they can contain a lot. It can contain salmonella also if they are not properly made, or if they are made under unpasteurized condition. So make sure you eat smoked, you eat canned version, okay, of your seafood. If you love seafood very well, smoked seafood, eat the canned version. Okay, canned version of smoked seafood. That's how you can protect yourself. So that being said, these are some food that you have to stay away from when you're pregnant. The one I mentioned from 1 to 9, okay, 1 to 9, they are what you have to watch out for. Like I just said, you have to make sure they're well cooked, well prepared. Okay, 1 to 9. Now, on my next list, these are food you shouldn't eat when you're pregnant. No matter how much you like them, no matter how much you want to indulge in them, for your own safety and the safety of your child, make sure you avoid raw cookie, okay, or cake batter. You have to avoid it when you're pregnant. Raw cookie dough, avoid. Why? Because of salmonella. So I'm going to list it. If you have your pen and paper handy, list this also. Okay, you want to avoid raw cookie dough. Why? Because of salmonella. Okay, make sure you bake your cookie and cake. While you are baking, do not lick this the spoon. It's very important. All this is to prepare you to protect you. So raw cookie dough, no, it has to be baked. Raw cookie dough that's bake cake batter. It has to be baked before you heat them. Okay, that's another important thing. Then raw or undercooked fish, like you see in sushi restaurants. Okay, raw or undercooked undercooked fish. You want to avoid this. Okay, it may contain parasite or bacteria, so you make sure the fish you eat is cooked to 145 to 150 degree Fahrenheit. Make sure it's cooked. Another thing you want to avoid, okay, is unpasteurized juice. Okay, including I know fresh squeezed juice. You may go to the store, buy orange for instance, and just squeeze it and you drink it. We all do it, but you should avoid it because of E. coli. Okay, unpasteurized. I'm not saying it. Unpasteurized juice. You want to avoid it because of E. coli. Okay, so always make sure your juice is pasteurized. Always make sure your juice is pasteurized. That's what you want to keep in mind. So let's quickly to do a recap so that I won't take much of your time. Another thing you want to avoid is unpasteurized milk. Okay, unpasteurized milk. You want to avoid it at all costs. Why? Because it may contain salmonella. Okay, so make sure your milk during pregnancy is pasteurized. Why am I saying all this to you? When you're pregnant, your immune system, okay, needs a lot of help, because you are sharing this with your baby. So to prevent all this issue, you have to make sure everything you take in is well pasteurized. The unpasteurized version should not be taken. Juice must be pasteurized. Your milk must be pasteurized. Okay. Another thing you should avoid by all means is buying salad from the store. Yes. Okay. Bear with me. I want you to take a note and take all this. That's why I created this channel for everyone to note all this. So salad from the store. Why am I saying you should not buy ready-made salad? I call it ready-made salad. Don't buy it because it may contain Listeria. Why? You were not there when they made it. Everything you eat must be made by you. Make your salad at home, okay? And follow, the basic, safety procedure. Make sure, you clean it very well, right? Chill it before you, prepare it. Clean it very well before you. Salad made in store, you don't know what they did with them. So salad made in store, like such as seafood salad, chicken salad, ham salad, no. Take your own at home. Another thing you want to avoid is raw or undercooked sprouts. You want to avoid this at all costs. Okay, raw or undercooked sprout may contain salmonella or E. coli. Okay, so be careful. If you want to heat your sprout, make sure you make sure you cook it very well. Make sure your sprout is well cooked before you take it. Another thing you want to avoid at all costs is mackerel, shark, swordfish, tuna. Why? Because these fishes that has high mercury. Okay, high mercury. You want to avoid this ones. They include mackerel. They include tuna. Okay, shark. and so on and so forth. Okay, they contain high level of mercury. Okay, you don't want that. Okay, any fish in this line should not be eaten. You don't want your child exposed to high mercury. Okay, you don't want your unborn baby exposed to high mercury, so that's why you have to avoid it. Another thing you want to avoid, number 8 on my list, which is the final right now, is cheese, soft cheeses. Soft cheeses may contain E. coli and Listeria. There are different brands out there, so I'm not going to mention any brand also. So it doesn't seem as if I'm against the brand. Be careful with soft cheeses from unpasteurized milk. Okay, so they may contain E. coli or Listeria. So make sure you heat. The solution to this is make sure you heat hard cheeses. Okay, eat hard cheeses. You know, brands like Cedar or Swish. From the label, if they're made from pasteurized milk, it will be on the label. So this ends my tutorial. All this help you out. Keep in mind, all the matters, the end result of your pregnancy is to have a healthy baby, and eating things that contain food that contain Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella would give you a hard time. So we want to enjoy this journey, okay? So while we're on this journey, these foods must be avoided. For number 1 to 8 should be avoided. No. Number 1 to 9, okay? Smoked seafood, poultry and stuffing, meat spread, ice cream, egg nuts, fish, egg, and a pasteurized one, processed meat, you understand, and smoked seafood, like I said before. You have to be careful with them. Make sure they are well made. Make sure they are well cooked before you heat them, because they may contain salmonella and listeria. Be careful with number 1 tonight. Now the next set is raw cookie dough, raw undercooked fish, unpasteurized juice, unpasteurized milk, salad from the store, raw or undercooked sprout, fish with high mercury, soft cheeses. Be careful with them. Do not eat this. If you have to eat one, make sure you eat the pasteurized version of any of this. If you must eat cookie, make sure it's well baked. If you must eat cake, make sure it's well baked. So I hope this helped you. I hope I've said enough. I hope you picked one or two things from this rather short tutorial. So if you have any question, feel free to drop in the comment box below. If you love this video, support the channel by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next tutorial.